Oh, got a clap. Well, g'day everyone, and welcome back to episode 6. I'm JH.
I'm George.
And today we're going to talk employment.
Yeah. Yep.
The difficult thing that faces every farmer, especially after the pandemic. So,
yeah, it's always a bit of a challenge.
It is.
Well, prior to the pandemic, it was it was still difficult.
yeah, we have our issues. So we'll get into a bunch of that. We've got to have a bit of a structure of how we're going to hit this one. But first off, we've got our very first ever voice message in from Instagram.
Oh, should we do that one first, or should we address the?
We can address this.
Yeah, today, 4 Pines. Finally got it.
Finally got it, Fushy. We've got the
Yep.
4 Pines. Although Esperance doesn't do the, whatever you wanted, the pale ale. So we're stuck with an Indian summer lager.
Yeah.
Ale, sorry.
Thanks, Fushy.
It's not bad.
Keep them coming in, guys.
It's not a bad drop. Drink fresh Australian made. There you go.
Perfect.
Righto. So let's crack into this first ever voice message sent into the Glass Cage pod. So go over there and send us any questions or anything you got.
Hi John, I am Linda Richter from South Africa. We farm here, and I just want to know, why have you chosen to go with a case tiger? Oh well, the road track, but it's a Steiger. And why have you chosen that, to go that route and not get something like a 9RX, for example? Thank you.
Well, there's I bleed green, and we always have. We've always had John Deere headers, John Deere's tractors. We had John Deere boom spray, and then we moved on to the AgriFac. Stayed with John Deere headers when we upgraded them, but when it came to upgrading the cedar tractor, that was the difficult one. And basically, the only reason I'm going for a case road track is price.
Yep.
The price of a John Deere is ridiculous.
Yeah, they've hiked it up, haven't they?
Yeah, yep. So if anyone watches my channel, you'd see that I've also got a little 100 horsepower JX100. Yeah. So I got that and the road track basically for the same price as a John Deere. So as much as I wanted to stay John Deere, I love John Deere. I love the tractor, the cab, everything. It's just great, but couldn't.
GPS?
GPS can still be run through John Deere, so that's all fine, which is what I wasn't too worried about. A tractor just pulls.
Yeah.
You know, if
you can
it
slap anything into any of them.
Yeah, whereas it'd take me a hell of a lot to get me out of a header. I'll still pay that extra to go for the header.
Yeah. Once you're in that ecosystem.
Well, that's it. Yeah. But John Deere steering, I'm assured, can still be run through it. So we will see how we go. Now, we did get a second voice message. Hey, go you boys.
Yeah. Keep it up. Keep them coming in.
Keep them coming in, guys. So this one here, we caught him at the Casbah the other day, and he did say he wanted to stay anonymous, so we'll leave it anonymous. So here we go.
Yep.
Evening, fellas. I thought I'd send a voice memo in to you, thanking you for jinxing me. I finally got around to listening to episode 4, and yeah, it was good to listen to everyone else's mistakes and learn from them. And I was sort of thinking to myself, I've gotten away pretty lucky the last 6 years without having any mistakes myself. Lo and behold, the next day, I've gone digging through the chem shed to look for a stroxystrobin extra to put a fungicide on some wheat, and I found some drums, a stroxystrobin plus this strange active that starts with an M that I can't pronounce. And I thought, yep, beauty, I'll stick this in the boom spray for now until I get some more product out. As I'm midway through the tank, I discover, this is seed dressing. So, yeah, we're not all immune. So, yeah, thanks for that.
Well, I'm glad that we could jinx him. That's good. Makes me feel a bit better, but it doesn't make me feel 100% better because he still got the Zoxy out. He didn't completely balls it up.
No, he
Cletho.
didn't put Cletho on top, which is all right. So
Yeah. No, after a quick discussion, I reckon, it'll be fine. Where he's put it, it'll be fine.
it's the importance of labelling, isn't it? Like we addressed.
Yes. Yep. Check, double check, have a look, have a read.
Rogie. Righto. Well, let's crack on into employment. We've both employed people.
Yes. Yep. Actively as well. Still, we haven't.
we're not hanging up the employment boots.
Yeah. No, it's still got people on, which is good. Now you guys have used an agency for your seasonal workers.
We have, yeah. So Dad has used an agency for a very, very long time. I won't say who they are for their privacy's sake.
Yep.
So for a very long time, he used the agency, and he had a great relationship with them. Basically, it was just getting Kiwis from Kiwi into Australia.
Yep.
And obviously, my preference for hiring, I prefer people who speak English as a first language.
Yeah.
It just makes everything a lot. We'll probably get into that, but it makes everything a lot easier. Anyway, so it was just all Kiwis. Then it started to stop being Kiwis and started to get a few Frenchmen come in or Germans, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And this is now when I was using them, and I'm the one doing the employing, and we were just getting like references. Well, not getting the CVs for like Argentinians or Israelis or just people who it was very difficult just because of the talking.
Yeah.
We've had a few Germans that could speak English better than us.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we've had people who just cannot speak at all. And it's a bit scary when you're trusting them with millions of dollars of equipment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's all well and good to be like, yep, okay, yeah, we'll give everyone a crack, and you
and we do, yeah.
But communication in the paddock, like those like harvest and seeding. Well, seeding not so much, but harvest when everyone's working in the paddock all at once as a team.
Yeah,
it's you've got to be right on with communication. So it's not just English, not English. The language barrier isn't always the only issue.
Yeah,
but it is a key driver, I reckon.
It definitely is. It's when you're trying to explain, okay, so you're going to go to this paddock and then you're going to use this run line, but then you're going to switch onto this run line to go that way, and then call up someone when you're getting to this part of the paddock. Yeah. And all you're getting is yes. And do you understand? Do you want me to repeat it? No, it's okay. Then I'm just going to repeat it another time just to see if you understand. It's I suppose it's an issue that we all face, isn't it? With trying to employ, and that stems into if an agency, like I've used an agency, but I've also branched out and used something like Gumtree. But you've used Gumtree a fair bit, I reckon.
Yeah, yep. We used to use the agency a couple of years ago, an agency, but the Gumtree and Facebook, that sort of open marketplace.
Yep.
They can be troublesome as well.
Yeah.
I find that the biggest problem with getting people from Gumtree or from Facebook is just the no-shows.
Yes. Yep.
So right down to nail it all the way down to we're keen to come. Like, here's what's your address, like mailing address, everything. Yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. Should be there about 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Like, yep, cool. This guy's definitely coming. They're definitely coming. Look around. Call them. It's like, are you okay? Like, have you had an issue with your car or something?
Yeah.
No, I've just taken another job and it's at the other end of the state. You are taking the piss.
Yeah, how hard's a courtesy call?
Yeah, and being led on all the way through. You've made the bed. You've got everything all ready for them, and it also like that throws you into a lurch because you've said no to maybe 5 other
Yeah.
CVs because you've got this person
You had someone locked in, ready to roll.
locked in. That is really painful, and there's no recourse for that.
No,
Whereas
no.
with the agency,
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out or they don't show up, then you've got that. You've
Yeah.
got one.
Yep. So the agency, you do pay, but if someone doesn't show up or if you have to say let them go within the first month, I think it is, they will supply you somebody else without having to pay again.
Yeah.
Like it's free of charge.
Their fee.
Yeah.
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 Now there is a little thing with the agency that sort of you understand it, but it did annoy us a little bit. So George Summers, who came and worked for us
Yep.
in he worked for Harvest and then seeding. He went away for a little break, came back for seeding.
Yeah.
So we got him through the agency.
Yeah.
And that's the brilliant thing of the agency. We were put into contact with George, and George
Yep.
is a brilliant worker.
Yes.
He's coming back for Harvest this year.
Yep.
And they, even though George, left, came back, decided to come back for seeding, they then sent us a invoice.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's
the
like,
finder's fee goes again.
Yeah,
and
so
again.
you get the finder's fee of, well, you wouldn't have known George if it
Yeah.
wasn't for us. So here's the invoice. And it's like, look, I get it. I'm going to pay it once, but I don't know if I'm going to pay it a second or third time.
Yeah, at that point, surely that's like the agency. Like,
Yeah, so they and it's in their fine print.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
I should know that anyway.
yeah.
But one thing that's also in the fine print, if George was to say, hey, my brother wants to come or my mate Jeff wants to come,
yeah.
I got to pay for that as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
stitches you
Because
up.
you wouldn't know George and you wouldn't know George's mates.
Yeah.
It's, that's probably the annoying thing, I guess, of going through an agency is
Yeah.
that sort of side.
All the little hooks along the way.
Yeah, but I've been the same as you. So when COVID hit,
Yeah,
that was when the agency couldn't get people,
yeah,
and so I'm branching out. I've used Gumtree. I've had some brilliant guys come off Gumtree.
yeah.
I had a German couple come through Gumtree. They were amazing.
Yes, yeah,
But then I've also had the exact same as you.
yeah,
Got this guy and turned down 2 other people because at the same time interviewing at the same time,
yeah,
and this guy sounded pretty good, and he was dead keen. He was ready to go. I said, okay, no worries. And this is probably about a month out from when I needed him. So I was like, I'm going to touch base with you in 2 weeks or 3 weeks just to make sure, give you the address.
yes.
And then-
keep that point of contact.
And then he just ghosted.
Yep.
And I'm trying to get a hold of him, just couldn't get a hold of him. The day came and went, and it's like, that courtesy would
Yeah.
just be so nice.
Yeah, I had one during harvest. Had set it all up. I was like, yep, you're keen. He did give me the courtesy call, and he said, "Oh, can you do more?"
Trying to get more money.
And I said, "Oh, look, no, I don't know. We can review after a week.
Yep.
But I'm not going to straight off the bat
Give you extra money.
Give you
yeah,
extra money.
Yeah.
But we will do a review after a week, and then if you're as skilled as you say that you
yep.
are, and you feel comfortable asking for more, then we'll go and we'll sit down and have that discussion." And he goes, "Oh, no, okay. I've got another job somewhere else, and they're paying this." And I said, "Well, good luck to you. Enjoy." Yeah. 2 weeks later, phone call. Can I come and is that job still? I'm like, no.
It's gone, bud.
2 weeks into harvest, like,
Yeah.
see you later.
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry. Like now, yeah. So I felt that during COVID there was a lot of that happening, a lot of shopping.
So the thing was that backpackers got stuck in Australia.
Yes.
Well, definitely in Western Australia.
by choice. By choice, yeah. They could go.
They could have gone, but
Yeah.
it would have broken them in money trying to
Yeah.
fly out. So they were stuck here. And then they knew farmers were on their knees
Yep.
needing workers.
Yeah.
And we've all heard the story of, $60 an hour for driving a header.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, well, if I was to be paying $60 an hour, I want to be driving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you just go off rotor hours.
Yes. Yeah. And
I'll service it,
Yeah.
I'll put the fuel in. I'll do all the greasing.
Yeah,
You
unless
get here when moisture's ready, and off you go.
Unless they rock up and they are like a mechanic or a precision ag
Yeah,
specialist
yeah,
or someone.
Then you're okay.
And you're
Yeah,
like, right, well, yeah, you're going to look after it.
yeah,
I'll pay you. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I know that. Yeah, it's a bit of a it's on a different foot. But yeah, it's good that it's sort of tapered back out again now.
Yeah,
And that there's highly skilled and qualified people that do deserve that higher pay rate.
Oh, definitely.
Coming through.
It's
nice not to just have Joe Blow who's like, yeah, I've done harvest. And it's like, no, you picked strawberries for 2 weeks. And now you want to drive that?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, I can drive. And I'm not going to do that unless you pay me this and have this and this and this.
Yeah, yeah,
And you think, oh, come on, mate. Like, there's a lot more to this
Yeah.
than just what you think.
So when it comes to employing, like obviously I learned from Dad, and Dad used to have a script that he read.
Yes.
Basically sit on the phone,
Yep.
and I'm just going to read the script out. When it's done, we'll have a chat.
Yeah.
So he sent me his script when I was learning to start to employ people.
Yep.
And by golly, it helps.
Yeah. Just having it all written down.
Yeah, so I took it away from being a script to being dot points.
Yep.
Because when it comes to reading, I can get quite jumbled.
Yeah.
Especially, off a screen.
Yeah.
So I just prefer to have the dot point and go, okay, we're talking about this is what your lunches will be, or this is your dinners, or
Yep.
things like that. So I always run through a script when I personally do it.
Yep.
Because, I don't know about you, but it's such a... like an anxiety, I guess, is like when you're...
Yeah, like it's performance. You want, you're trying to attract this person to come and work for you.
You don't want to sound like a...
Yeah, and you don't want to be like, oh no, you definitely want to come here. Like he is really, really good. But yeah, no, having those dot points laid out, just basic information of like how far are we from town?
An hour and 20 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, where are we? What do we do? What's the structure?
Yeah.
Like we're not a corporate. We're a family farm.
Yeah,
Which often comes up. People want to only work for family farms. They might have been through the corporates and felt that they've been lost through. And I've heard that a number of times. The benefit for the corporates is that they've got HR.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that those guys they recruit and they do really, really well. But yeah, that sort of that structure and that list of things to go through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
I was going to say, like you were saying about the referrals for George's.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, other George.
Yeah.
George 2.
George 2.0.
Little George, as someone described it. I'm sure he's watching, but
No, he's listening.
I'm the original George. So his friend groups and friends. Have you got?
No.
If I was to employ one of his friends, would then you get the bill?
I will gladly charge you. No. He, I've asked him if he's got some friends and stuff that want to come over, and he hasn't even told them about the YouTube yet, so he doesn't want people to see him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've obviously had people work for us, and then they've called you up, going, "Hey, look, I've got James.
Yep.
He's a pretty good bloke, pretty good worker."
Yep.
Few of those worked out, or?
Yeah, definitely. I know that there was a fair network of Kiwis through Cascade and Munglen up. And,
Yeah.
They're all, it's Kiwis. They all know each other.
Yeah, it's small enough.
But like plenty of friends and brothers and stuff that come through.
Yeah.
And once in that network, the big benefit there is the personal reference from the guys who come over. They'll say, or they won't refer a drop kick because
it reflects bad on them.
Yeah, so that big benefit there, and a lot of those guys will be like, oh yeah, he will come over with his partner or wife or girlfriend, and and they're looking to actually make a bit more of a move. So yeah, potentially get some more permanent workers in the area as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we've had the same. We've had Fred, well, basically it is all Kiwis. So
Yeah,
like they've. It's just basically been the one guy that's been recommending people coming over.
Yes.
Because he obviously, I think he came and worked for us for maybe 4 seasons.
Yep.
And he had, enjoyed it obviously.
Yep.
And guys that his friends or who he's been working with,
Yep.
they go, I'm looking at going over to Australia to do a seeding.
Yeah.
He goes, I've got just the farm for you.
Yeah. Down the pub, send them the phone call, WhatsApp message.
So no,
and it's done.
we've had that work, and that's been pretty good.
Yeah.
And then myself going forward, I'll probably end up using YouTube.
Yep.
I've
Yes.
had quite a lot of people message me, email me, Twitter, Instagram, all the direct messaging, asking for jobs, and it's been good. Like there hasn't been any. There has been a few inexperienced people, but some people who are sending through their CVs to me, they're quite qualified.
Yeah.
So it's good. I reckon I'll probably end up doing that and seeing how that goes for a season or two.
Yeah, the beauty of that I see is that all of the people have seen your operation.
Yeah.
So they know you, and they'll have that. Okay, so
that
that's
mate sort of connection.
Okay, so this is the expectation. This is what happens. This is what that is. That's awesome. That's something that was brought up. One of our mates. He said that when he was doing a couple of he did 1 or 2 years
over here,
2 years. When he was looking around,
you can mention him, Macca.
Oh, Tom should do. I was his best man. So, that's the high quality people that we want. Is but he came over. He said he looked at Cascade because of what he'd seen some videos of the farm that he was going to go and work for.
Oh yeah.
And he said that was one of the deciding factors was that. Okay, so they've got this. There's no mystery of what's going on.
I think being able to see exactly what you've
what you're signing up for,
yeah.
because it's a long way. Not only a long way from town, but it's a long way for a lot of people to go thousands of kilometres.
Oh yeah,
to go right out into the isolated thing. We hear horror stories of you rock up and they didn't feed you and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, the accommodation was leaking or
all those horror stories. Thankfully they're becoming very rare now. In the industry.
Yep.
But the YouTube, I think, fantastic.
Yeah. So
no mystery involved. That's it.
No, I've had people that I'm turning away. Obviously, so this year I've got George coming back, and then Henry's sister's going to come and work for us. So
awesome.
We're already sorted for work crew. I only employ 2 people at seeding and 2 people at harvest. So well, I mean, I had a couple of girls message me, and I've been asking people around to see, because they sent me their CVs and they're very, very qualified.
Yes,
and it's like, well, definitely helps if you've got the qualification backing.
That's also the other side. The send out to everyone else the community chat. There's often we've got 2 guys here working, and their friends are also in the area. Does anyone want to look at employing them? And that's it's always an interesting time coming around harvest.
It is. And then with that, I guess the perks of what you offer, but the things that the pay's increased.
Yes.
Since Dad started employing people, obviously the pay's gone up.
Yeah.
Even since I've started employing people, the pay's just skyrocketed through the roof.
Yes. Yeah.
So our base rates of pay are going up for inexperienced people to start off with.
Yeah.
And then now it's perks, just like the guy you said he found a better offer somewhere else. Can you match it? So now we're offering, we always cook the dinners.
Yes.
Dinners are going to be brought to paddocks.
Yeah.
Lunch is provided.
Yeah.
Like a lot of farmers around our area, they have someone probably get a cook in to do it all, and they get their lunch pack for them, and then they pick it up in the paddock.
Yep.
We're not quite that extreme.
Yeah, well, on that the perks and trying to get that, or not perks, but just the whole package.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years had been quite difficult to get cooks for some of the larger operations.
Yeah.
And community as a whole decided to employ one cook and run meals out of the one kitchen.
Yeah.
And then sell those meals. So that worked really quite well.
That was really good for the Cascade Rec. Yeah.
And so then we're going to do that again for harvest.
Yeah,
But
okay.
with some tweaks and little bits and pieces,
Yep.
Having only had the one time, like the seeding to learn, then harvest should be better.
Yeah.
That's a good way of trying to get that benefit, but without the risk of, someone who employs a cook and then the cook doesn't show up.
Yeah.
And then you've got 10 people who are hungry. So that's bad news bears.
Sometimes you get it, you've employed Jason.
Yeah.
But Jason's got a girlfriend that wants to come with him.
Yes.
And they say, he says, oh, yeah, no, she's a good cook and she'll do the cleaning and everything as well. And you go, oh, look, okay, we'll do it. And then she comes and she doesn't like cooking.
Yeah.
And she just does a horrible job. And it's like, oh, okay.
Or Jason and Sheila have a bust up and she goes. And
Now you're out of cook.
And you're standing there looking at Jason in the paddock going, everyone's quite hungry, Jason.
Get in the kitchen.
Yeah. All of us are going to have to cook now.
Now, not so much employing. Well, I suppose it is employing, but you guys are now running a trainee program.
Yeah. So we've got there's a couple of ways of getting workers. You can breed them like us. We were bred into work. You can get them off Gumtree or off the agency, or you can train them up and start with a blank slate. And so a lot of the young people that we've got coming through are 16, 17, still at school-based trainees, and they'll do 2 or 3 days a week, and they learn like the base skills. And so we'll have like 3 trainees for a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
And learn if they want to or whatever. And then out of that cohort of trainees, we've found so far there's 1 or 2 people that want to continue on and maybe go next year full time with us.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so then it cycles through, then they might want to stay for 1 or 2 years and then move on and go and do something else.
Yep.
That's what we're trying to get to at the moment.
Yeah.
It's been, it's got its challenges trying to train people all the time.
Yeah, so what I struggle with is, if you don't have the hours for someone.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I feel really bad, but I don't have the hours, do you mind just knocking off?
Yeah, go and entertain yourself or...
Yeah, so when you got work experience, well, they're work experience kids, really.
Oh, they're paid trainees.
Paid trainees?
And there's a lot of times, we've all had it where you're sitting in the shed and you're looking at each other going, well,
I swept the shed 20 minutes ago. Do you want me to do it again?
yeah, it's raining. We can't actually physically get on the paddock or do anything.
Yeah.
But we've gotten a lot better at finding things that are meaningful to get on with. There's always like a learning opportunity, something in there.
Yep.
And a couple of days a week, it's manageable. The full-time trainee, or so when they decide to stay on for like the next year, or if they want to stay on for a year or 2, they're doing their certificate 3s and 4s. There's always that. There's no work to be done. Like
you can go and do your study.
Go and do your study in the smoko room, or set out. And if you've got questions, we're here and we can come and help you, like with your trainee work.
Yeah. Yep.
So it sort of you sometimes end up being a little bit of a TAFE lecturer. But that's...
So will they be here over harvest? Because that's much more of a pressure situation just for you guys managing way. Managerial way? Managing way.
Yeah, managerial. Yes. So we'll... I'm not sure this harvest we should have... It gets difficult with school times because there's...
And transport?
Or
does the school bring them out?
School will bring them out, or we will have someone in and out.
Yep.
Roughly mum and dad sort of semi-retired sort of doing that.
Yep.
And they'll pick up from there and head out. But it becomes difficult with like school holidays and timing.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah, a lot of the guys are from Luma, like out of Broome.
Yeah.
So from
Yep.
up in the up country.
Yeah, yeah.
So then they've got limited time with school to then get the flights back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so go and see family after being at boarding school for the whole time.
Yeah.
But so I'm hoping that we'll have Lennox on next year. Well, he wants to come on for next year.
Yep.
Hopefully he can be here for harvest as well,
Yeah, okay.
because that's a good link.
It is, yeah.
Good link-in period.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, last year we had Costa and Devon. Both went off, and Costa's playing footy in Perth, and
Yeah.
Devon's gone back up home. Didn't want to continue on. Well, I think he wanted to continue on, but went up back home after he finished school. That was fantastic. Just having eager young people in and around, and
Yep.
really
Suppose it
good.
helps you guys also have stock as well. So you've always got something to do with stock, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's always something to do.
There's always something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even and that, like, okay, we'll go and check the animals, but like it could be a bit boring. Like,
Yeah,
we'll go
of
and
course,
check.
yeah.
But it's something that trainees need to learn and do.
Yeah.
We take for granted a lot of like our baseline stuff,
Oh, of course we do, yeah.
and then you've got someone who's never been on a farm or hasn't been on a farm very often, and you find that you're going, okay, well, we've got to start from here and explain everything through. So
Yep.
challenging, but really, really rewarding. It's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sticking on the challenging sort of mark, now not employing people, but the working of sides with dads and brothers and sisters.
Yes. Yep. Family.
Family.
It's like I said, you either you breed them or you get them off Gumtree.
So I've only, like I said in previous, I've got a brother and he doesn't want to be involved in farming. He's out.
Yep.
He works up in Perth.
Yep.
But I've got dad.
Yep.
And that was, I left uni because I thought I was going to learn, and I did learn more from dad than what I was going to do from uni.
Yep.
And so I've always had a very good working relationship with dad, and I don't think we've ever had a blow up or a screaming match yet. Yeah, the roles have changed now.
Yeah.
I'm the one telling him what to do.
Has he ever taken off in the header and just gone somewhere completely? He goes, I just wanted to see what it was like over here.
So no, that's been fairly good. You, on the other hand, you've got a sister who isn't involved in the farm.
Yeah, yep. So older sister Terry, doesn't want to be back on the farm.
Yeah.
Then older brother Tom, myself,
Younger brother Jack. and dad.
and dad. Yeah. So I don't know where to slot.
How much time we got?
Yeah. How long do we have?
Well, you sorted Jack out. You sent him to a station.
Yeah.
So, he's 1,000 Ks away.
Yeah. Well, our livestock agent said to us one day in the yards, he goes, "You've got Esperance's oldest teenager." He's
Tim.
pointed at dad. Like, yeah, that's probably about right. So, dad's semi-retired, and as they tend to, just finds another project, something else to do, wants to keep going, and they keep going until they drop. But yeah, so working with like, I'll say three brothers, so the three of us.
Yeah. Yep.
And dad, spread out between 1,000 Ks north of the home farm.
Yeah.
Can be challenging, but we seem to make it work. We haven't had any big blowouts, like not big right in each other's face shouting matches.
Yeah.
But a fair bit of that comes from just the natural brother hierarchy.
Yeah, it does, I suppose.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear that? This is what we're doing. It cycles down.
Yeah.
But, it's good. I enjoy it. Yeah.
No, it is. It's always good to. It's like when you play sport with your brother or your old man. It's always
Cousins even. If your back wasn't sore, would have been there today.
Anyway,
I reckon, like, stemming back to the first episode when I said that I think it was the most fun times is when we're all together, and it's,
we had no responsibility though.
Yeah, but
Things have changed.
yeah, things have changed, but it's always that
So-
dynamic. And
Yeah, when I came back to the farm, it was just me and Tom, and obviously Dad.
yeah,
Dad had learnt fairly early on not to leave Tom and I unsupervised because
yeah.
the things that we'd get up to were just
you got half a boy there.
yeah. I won't get into detail on here, but
I do recall a story from your mum over the two-way. Stop it.
Well, I'll say what that one was. That one's not going to get us in any trouble. That was Tom filling up plastic bags with oxyacetylene, and we had the fire going in the shed. And he's like, "Watch this!" And then we put it on a rake, and then boom! I'm like, "Can I do it?" So we did that about 4 times, and it made the shed absolutely shudder. And that was when Mum come on the two-way going, "Stop it!" Oh God! Yep.
It was a lot. That's a fair distance from shed to house.
Yeah, on a quiet day though,
Yeah.
it can travel quite far. So
No, I enjoy the dynamic, and it's always good fun and you'd find the times when you're joking around with your dad, and it's nice to just get to that where everyone is like, we've all got the same goal,
yeah.
and we're all working towards that, and just to be
The positive is they can't fire you.
yeah. Well,
Well, I suppose they could, but
very difficult.
If I was an employer, I reckon Dad would have fired me after I did the boom spray twice on that on that same stump. I think there's a few times Dad has, when I was young, probably just turned the two-way off and just had a few breaths and then turned the two-way back on. And
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Do I give
how-
him his marching orders? No.
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 Then I've got to deal with his mother. Dinner's going to be awkward tonight.
That's it. But that's, I don't know. That's part of lessons learnt there is for any of the young guys that we're bringing through is sort of give a bit more time. Don't just blow up straight away.
Yeah.
That's difficult not to sometimes, but very important not to ruin the young people's vigor for the game.
Yep. Well, we'll end it with two not questions, statements from the Instagram, the Glass Cage Pod.
Couple of stories.
Couple of stories.
Yep.
So this one I'll just summarise because it's a big one and I've read it, so I know what it's about. So this one's from Dave.
Yep.
And he said just on the old spray planes, how he said, they can have a few interesting things.
Yeah, very interesting stories coming out of the spray plane industry.
Yeah. The pump on last,
Yeah.
and then now this. So he said basically there was some guys in about 5 or 6 years ago, and they were doing some spraying of canola, and there were power lines around. Essentially, he clipped a power line, and he was able to nurse it back to the airport or wherever the strip was.
Yeah.
And the boss said, "Okay, you're all good. Good. Right, get in the car. You're going to drive 4 hours east or west, wherever it was."
Yeah.
And he picked up the new one, brought it back that night, loaded up that next day, off he went, did it again. It's just like, yeah.
You can't do that twice.
No, he did. He survived twice.
Well, yeah, you can do it, but oh wow, that's
Yeah. No.
lucky.
Lucky. At least when I hit the tree or power line or whatever, I'm not going to
Oh yeah,
not going to end up dead.
no, you don't have the
Don't have the sudden landing.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's wow, cool.
All right. So the last one here is from Dan Hawthorne. Again, on the Glass Cage Pod, everybody.
Yeah, get on there.
So his question, he said a fair bit of stuff, and then the question was basically, why don't we grow legumes in our rotation? Is it soil type related? And then he said lentils, vetch, lupins are becoming a huge part of the rotation in his area. So just wondering why we don't.
Yeah, we should and we want to. It's profitability is the main driver.
It is, yeah. I think basically the average of our paddock size, let's say, it's probably going to be about 250, 300 sort of hectares
Yeah, about that.
when you go from our biggest to our smallest.
Yeah.
So you've got to do a whole paddock of it. Let's just say it's lentils, beans, whatever. We don't exactly have the soil type to do it across the whole paddock, and then you end up with the sand blows, and then you just end up ruining your paddock from then on.
Or rocks, so harvestability.
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
So that's been my reason for not doing it. We did grow peas for a long time.
Yes.
But Dad finally, when us header drivers had enough.
Yeah, harvest all day and get half a tank.
Well,
But that was also spread out over 8,000 hectares.
back then it was, we
Yeah.
only did one paddock.
Yeah, so then the percentage of that. So it's we want to do more, or we've tried beans, and we just haven't nailed down the agronomy on them ourselves, because profitability.
And beans are a hard one. They require a lot of spraying, a lot of taking care of.
Yeah. There's a lot of art and science mixing together.
Yeah.
But there's I think that for us, being like we joke about being hobby farmers, when you start to knock 10% of your paddocks into legumes, that is 10% often. 10% that just either goes neutral, or will make a loss.
Yeah. Well, mostly going to make a loss, really, isn't it? That's the talk of legumes around the area.
Yeah, it's difficult, very difficult to get them with. Like, we've got a feedlot, and we don't grow beans or lupins for our own feedlot because there's a surplus in the area. We can always get beans or lupins or...
Yeah, so no one really has on-farm storage for that sort of capacity. And so you're storing it in bags. Bags can go bad.
Yeah.
It's typically got to go to Perth.
Yeah.
Well, it all nearly goes all to Perth.
At the moment. It just hasn't quite got a foothold here. Agronomically, and like rotation-wise, I would love to have, 10%, 20%, 20%.
Getting the nodulate and getting the nitrogen is fantastic.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why we stopped growing the peas was because we were like, okay, is the wheat crop following this sensational because of the nitrogen that was put back into the soil?
Yeah.
Or is it because the peas didn't do awfully well and they didn't actually take any moisture out? So we've got a year's worth of subsoil moisture here.
Yeah, a bit of a fallow effect. Yeah.
Yep. So that's what we sort of decided that's what it was, because we had a few fallows in at the time, chemical fallows, and they were performing just as well as what the pea country was.
Yeah, without the cost.
Without the cost.
Without all of the cost.
Yeah. You're not negative. You just, well, I suppose you are. You're spraying them, but it was that was the reason why we stopped. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting question. I guess the main thing to note there is that there are people around who are growing legumes, neighbours in between. But different stages in the business cycle, and different end goals for agronomy.
Yeah, yep.
Not different, but just a different approach. So yeah.
So there you go.
Good question.
Yeah. So like I said about 19 times, reach us on the Glass Cage Pod.
Yep.
We definitely loved having those voice notes. That was brilliant.
Yep. Send them through, guys.
Send them through, and we shall see you in the next one.
See ya.